This past January, I went to Poland with Wim Hof, and I hiked this mountain in my shorts. I jumped off waterfalls into freezing waters, and I discovered an elixir, something that was life transforming. And when I left Poland, I wasn't the same person. And I realized that so many of the things that I was afraid of, so many of the illusions in my head were not real. And I discovered this power, this almost like a best friend inside, almost like a resource that when you can tap into it, it changes everything. And I began to realize that, like, wow, like, because I'm a licensed therapist, been a therapist for 15 years, and I myself have struggled with anxiety. And in a funny way, jumping into cold water and facing fears and challenging myself was what helped me realize what, in my mind, is a forgotten art for anxiety and depression, which is that when you can root deep inside yourself, it drives away the messengers of fear. And I can't really. It's hard to explain kind of why, but it makes sense because if you think about it, what is anxiety but the mind running wild, thinking and worrying about stuff? Like sometimes I get secretly depressed, silently anxious, and it's just me locked in my head, and I'm thinking about things that I'm afraid of. But when you realize you've got this strong, resilient motherfucker inside you, this mofo, this powerful person, that this will release like this reservoir of ancestral strength that we all have. It's not like a lot of times in the past I've thought like, wow, I wish I could be like that person. That person's really special. That person's really special. That person really has got courage or strength or confidence. But the thing is we all have it. And I'm not trying to be glib and be like, oh, we all are special and snowflakes. No, like we all have this motherfucker. We all have this honey badger, this primitive, ancestral, savage, native person in our gut. Because we come from a long lineages of our forefathers who've survived in very adverse conditions. And just because we're civilized and modern now doesn't take away from the fact that we have this. And it's going back to the beginning. That's what we need to do. We get so locked in our minds. We get so locked in relationships, get so locked in morality. We got to go back to the beginning, which is that for 99.9% of human history, we lived on the land in tribes. We were connected to nature. We were in touch with the survival of the fittest. Like, we're all strong motherfuckers. Like, we are savages. We're animals. And if we knew that, if we didn't allow ourselves to forget that, then we'd realize that these fears we have, these automatic thoughts, are not as scary as we feel they are. And we would realize our feelings are not facts. Our feelings don't dictate our life. Because we can root down here, we can root into our heart and our gut, growl at something, be like, listen, breathe deep, root, look at it in the eye, stand up strong, and say, I got this. And we've just forgotten that lost art. But 99.99% of human history, that was just what we did. We've gotten so soft. Because of comfort and technology and just familiarity and our hyper-focus on relationships, our hyper-focus on feeling good, that we've forgotten that inside of us is this ancestral DNA that when we find, it is the ultimate cure for anxiety, depression, and suicidality. And that's why in third world countries, the suicide rates are ultra low. Anxiety rates are ultra low, at least clinical anxiety. Because people in those cultures have got to have the motherfucker, or they die. We in our culture don't have to have the motherfucker. We don't have to have the mofo, that strong, resilient person, because we've gotten so advanced in technology and comforts that we don't need it to survive. And that's come at a great toll to our mental health. Mental illness, anxiety, and depression at world record highs of all time. But we have less to be anxious about now than ever. And it's because we've lost touch with this. And so, Wilder Wellness Center, what we're doing here is we're just trying to go back to the beginning. It's nothing new here. This is what we've always done. We're just trying to go back to the beginning and provide delivery systems for mental health care and for wellness that actually feed our most primary and most historical and most prominent part of our psyche. Because other delivery systems don't deliver that. And it doesn't negate the value of them. It doesn't negate the value of traditional psychotherapy. There is and will always be a very important place in our lives for that. I am a traditional psychotherapist. It doesn't negate the role of coaching and spirituality and religion. Every one of those is vital in their own way. There just are not any delivery systems in the mental health wellness realm that feed this primordial, native, savage man that lives within us, that is the cure, that is the thing that will actually drive away fear and anxiety, which is the leading epidemic in the world at this point. So we're here to deliver, and we have a staff full of amazing healers. We have a four-pronged staff here. We have a behavior specialist who focuses on action. We have a spiritual director, a shaman who focuses on getting in touch with spiritual healing. We have a yoga teacher who helps focus on breathing and body. And then we've got a therapist, licensed therapist, who focuses on the mind and figuring out how do we strategically find the best treatment plan that will deliver the best, quickest, fastest results that honors all components of the human psyche. That's what we do here. It's revolutionary, never been done before. And so that's the trademark of Wilder Wellness, is that we want to find one thing and one thing only. Our treatment plans are focused around one thing. We're here on the hunt for the primitive man that lives within us. We're on the hunt for the fire, the motherfucker. And I say motherfucker not because I'm trying to be crude, but because sometimes we need taboo language to awaken the fires, the growl, the loins, the badass. It's in our eyes, it's in our courage, and we're here to help people find that courage. That courage is not found externally, it's found inside of you.